Hi everybody, my name is Jessica and this is my channel. I was kind of nervous doing this because I don't know, I'm not a camera type of person, I guess. But I decided to make a video today about um, basically a story when I got stranded with a friend. So basically, one night me and my friend that we had went out, and basically my friend, she's transgender. So I'm not gonna say her names, but we decided to go out. I live in Orlando, so we went to downtown in Orlando, and we went to this place called the Patio. You know, we're having fun or whatever. And there's this guy that asked for a number early in the day, and I just gave it to him. I was just like, whatever, like I don't care, just did it. So he was texting me throughout the day. So while we was out, he was texting me, telling me, well, prior to that, he was telling me to meet him at this other place. But I was like, I already made plans with my friends. I'm not going to ditch my friends for you. Like, bitch, I don't know you. So, basically, I was just like, well, like, if I get bored, I'll come by, which I wasn't. But throughout the night, we still downtown having fun, drinking, we ended up going to his other spot who's has hookah. So they have free hookah. So we went there to smoke some hookah. The person still texted me, asking to see me and all that. And I was like, well, like, just come downtown. Like, if you want to see me so bad, just come down here. Like, so he's telling me he's on the way. And I was just like, okay, well, if we're not going to get here by like 2 o'clock, there's no point for you to come into place. Because in Orlando, most of the places stop closing. They close like at like. So prior to the guy text me or whatever, basically like we was out. He was asking for me to come to this other spot to meet him, but I was like, I already made plans with my friends. I'm not going to tell him no to hang out with you. Like, who are you? So basically, I was just like, well, just come downtown. Like, if you want to see me so bad, just come. So he was just like, all right, bet. So he's coming. He's telling me that he's coming. And I was like, well, if we're not going to get here by 2 o'clock, there's no point. Because, in Orlando, most of the things close at 2 o'clock. Unless you find something that's after hours, which is rare. So he gets downtown 2 o'clock. Now, it was just like, okay, well, I was like, well, this is other hookah lounge that usually stays open till like, I think 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like cool with the person who owns there. So I was like, let's go there. So it was like, all right, bet. So I was like, well, I have my friend with me if that's okay for her to come. He said, okay. But he didn't tell me that he had another. So prior to the guy text me or whatever, basically, like, we was out. He was asking for me to come to this other spot to meet him. But I was like, I already made plans with my friends. I'm not going to tell him no to hang out with you. Like, who are you? So basically, I was just like, well, just come downtown. Like, if you want to see me so bad, just come. So he was just like, all right, bet. So he's coming. He's telling me that he's coming. And I was like, well, if we're not going to get here by 2 o'clock, there's no point. Because, in Orlando, most of the things close at 2 o'clock. Unless you find something that's after hours, which is rare. So he gets downtown 2 o'clock. Now, it was just like, okay, well, I was like, well, this is other hookah lounge that usually stays open till like, I think 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like cool with the person who owns there. So I was like, let's go there. So it was like, all right, bet. So I was like, well, I have my friend with me if that's okay for her to come. He said, okay. But he didn't tell me that he had another. He didn't tell me he had another friend. So we got in the car. I was like, hello. So me and my friend, we sit in the back seat. We driving to the place. I'm giving them directions or whatever. So we get there, we chilling, we vibing. Like, I'm sitting like next to the guy that asked for my number, and my friend is sitting next to the homeboy. Mind you, like I said, my friend is transgender. So like the whole plan was not trying to hook up with nothing, trying to hook up with nobody, anything like that, especially her. And we just chilling. She's doing her thing, dancing with the guy and all that. Usually she wouldn't dance on the guy, to be honest. She would usually let them know, like, I'm transgender or something like that. But she was pretty lit, and she just kept going, dancing with him and all that. And I was just like, okay. Because me, it's not my place to speak. Like, she's a grown person, I'm a grown person. You do what you got to do, you feel me? So we leaving. I already talked to her prior to that. I spoke to her prior to that. I was already telling her, I was like, yo, I'm gonna get you as close to your house. I mean, close to where you stay at, so you don't have to pay too much with Uber. So she was like, okay, cool. And I was like, I'm gonna just take an Uber home, and that's that. So that was the plan. For some reason, we leaving, and I was like, oh, well, I'm about to take this Uber. Oh, why are you doing this? We can drop you home. I was like, no, it's okay. Like, we're just gonna go ahead and go our ways, because she's already close to her spot. So we're just like, just go our separate ways. But for some reason, she heard free ride. It was not trying to, I don't know. But all of a sudden, I was like, yo, let's sit in the back seat. You and I sit in the back seat. Because the homeboy was talking about he was already lit and or whatever. And he would look like he was feeling my friend's vibe. And I was like, no, I feel like he's going to try some shit. That's how I was like, sit in the back. But no, she insisted on sitting in the back with him. So I was like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, okay. So she sat in the back with him. I sat in the front. I was already annoyed at this point. And I was just like, yo, like, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, I'm about to call me an Uber and go home. And they was like, oh, why you being messed up? You gonna leave your friend out here like that? I said, I'm not leaving her like that. We both discussed to take Uber home. So I don't understand why she's trying to, have you drop her home for what reason. So we ended up sitting in the car. I guess while he was driving, I guess the homeboy was doing something or trying to touch my friend or whatever case may be. But mind you, I wasn't paying no mind. I was just like sitting there, not paying nobody no mind, just sitting on my phone like I'm just ready to leave. So I guess while he was touching her, I think she said like, don't touch me, or like, I'm okay. I guess he got mad. But I don't know from that point where he was trying to touch her, he noticed something or he felt something, or I don't know. But I was hungry too, because like, when you drunk and shit, you get hungry. So I was like, I'm hungry as fuck, like I want to eat some food. So we went to Wawa, but I didn't get out the car. I was like, I just want to leave. So I guess from when we left from the place and when we got to Wawa, I guess something happened there, because he was just like insisting for his homeboy, was the guy that asked for my number, to drive to a next gas station so I can get some food. And I'm like, well, all of a sudden you care about me getting food. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. Since I'm going to have to sit in this car for this long-ass ride, might as well. So I was like, I got out the car. It was only going to be me. But all of a sudden, my friend got out the car too. And during that time, she was using her phone as GPS, because she had I don't know, I guess our phone wasn't working that well. I really don't remember. But she was using her phone as GPS. So when she got out the car, she left her phone in the car with that guy. And I'm just like, why would you do that? Like, it doesn't make sense. But I didn't notice at that time that that's what she did. But we walked inside. As soon as we walked in there, the homeboy got out the car and told his homeboy to, which is the guy that was talking to me, to get into the passenger seat so he can drive. And they drove off, leaving us out there. And I was just like, I didn't notice until I turned around. I was like, yo, they dead ass left? Like, for real? So I guess at that time, I was pissed off. I was like, why the fuck did they go ahead and leave us? Like, it wouldn't have been a problem if I agreed to take an Uber home. Like I said, originally that's what I wanted to do. That was the whole plan. We gonna go chill at the hookah spot. After that, we dip, But that didn't go as planned. So I'm calling the homeboy, or the guy that asked my number, and I was like, what's up with you? Like, why you left? And he's yelling at me. The homeboys in the background yelling, talking about some, oh, you didn't tell me your friend was a boy, this and this and that. You had me thinking it was a girl this whole time. I said, hold up. I said, why you snapping at me? He was like, oh, because you her friend, you're supposed to let me know that your friend was a female. And I was like, I don't have to say anything. Like, I'm not obligated to say anything. Like, she's her own person. If she wanted to tell you guys, she could have told you, but she didn't. Which I'm surprised, because she usually would tell somebody, that she's a transgender. But for some reason, that night in particular, she was not trying to tell nobody nothing. So I was just like, it ain't my fault that she didn't tell him, because first of all, I wasn't expecting my friend to hook up with the friend anyways. So it was just like, I don't understand what's going on here. Like, they just both snapping. Oh, you fucked up for that. People can get hurt. People can get killed because of shit like that. I'm like, okay, but at the end of the day, my friend wasn't doing nothing with your friend. So like, why the fuck you sitting here snapping at me? Like, y'all making me seem like I'm the one that's a transgender. Like, no, it's not me. You know? And like I said, also my friend played a part because I was like, yo, like when I told you to sit in the back seat with me, you should have done that. Just like when I said for us to take a Uber home from where we was at, you could have done that too. So those 2 times you could have avoided that shit. But no, you don't want to listen. But like she was just too drunk and irritated. She was not trying to listen to me. So I'm sitting here yelling at both the homeboys, because they sitting here snapping at me. So I had to tell them like, don't come on my phone yelling at me like that. So at the time, so basically after all this me going back and forth with the both guys, my friend is like, oh, I'm gonna call the police because they stole my phone. Like this whole thing just was just too much. So she ended up calling the police. Then the police came. She's trying to do a report, but like I'm like kind of into like police type stuff. Like I don't know, but I kind of know some of like the rules and regulations or whatever the stuff is called. But so basically, the officer that came, his basically it was from like the Wawa and the 7-Eleven. So between the Wawa and the 7-Eleven, after a certain part, it's not his jurisdiction. So he was trying to say that, she was just not trying to listen. I was like, yo, he can't do anything if it's past his 7-Eleven. So if it's past the 7-Eleven, it's pointless talking to. I meant not past. Anything before the 7-Eleven has nothing to do with him. And she was just not trying to listen. She was just like, my phone. And I was just like, yo, like, you need to listen to me. We're going to have to walk back to this Wawa, to get the officers over there, because the guy that has my number, he told me that his homeboy left her phone somewhere. But for some reason we looked, it was nowhere there. So we went back to the Wawa because she thinks that that's where they dropped it. So we walked all over there. Mind you, it was not no 2-minute walk. That thing felt like it was 35 minutes. I don't know. But we walked there, and then we trying to flip phone. The phone was not there. I was like, yo, it's either they did leave your phone outside and somebody took it, or they never left your phone outside. So at this point, it's like I think it's like about 5 o'clock in the morning. We still out here. I'm sitting here getting tired because like we just sitting here looking for her phone. Her phone is nowhere to be found. She swears up and down that her Find My iPhone was on, but when they try to look for it, she was using my phone most of the time to do this stuff. And when she was doing it, it was not showing up. She was like, oh no, they went in there and turned it off. I said, in order for you to turn off your Find My iPhone, I could have sworn that you needed a password to do that. So the officer was like, no, you never had it on. She was like, no, I did. I'm just like, yo, like, this girl's being so hard-headed right now. I was like, yo, can you just listen to them? Like, they trying to tell you something. You're not trying to listen. So fast forward. So she called the police again. Another one came. At this time, we at the Wawa. So we sitting out here, and I'm just like, yo, like, I'm ready to go. Like, she's like, oh, I don't have nobody's numbers. I don't have this. I don't have that. I'm like, okay, so, like, what we doing here? Like, now we just doing too much. Like, the officers came telling the same story, same thing about the phone or whatever, asking us what type of car it is, who the names and all that, giving that information. I'm just like, yo, like, I was wearing like a short outfit, and it was like fucking cold outside, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I want to go. So we sitting there. By the time, so I ended up having to call an Uber for both of us to get home, and that stuff was not cheap. So I had to call Uber for both of us to get home. And I was like, yeah, I know we're close to you or whatever, but I'm tired and I'm going home. So we took an Uber home. I got dropped off first and she got dropped off second. And she was just like, oh, yeah, I'm going to hit you up when I get home, whatever. So I was like, all right, cool, She was just like, thank you, and all that. She gets home. I was not expecting her to hit me up right away. But, like ever since that day, I haven't heard from her ever since. And that situation happened like all the way. That was Christmas. No, not Christmas. That was Thanksgiving. So I haven't heard from her since then. So you really gonna sit here and not talk to me after I stayed here with you until 8 o'clock in the morning? I didn't get home until 8 o'clock in the morning because of you being stupid. Like, that's crazy. But I mean, it's all good. It's all good. And that's my story.